What if I told you that there's a cheetah that looks like it's been painted by an artist? I am referring to the King Cheetah. The King Cheetah was originally named Cooper's Cheetah after Major A. Cooper shot the rare cat. Shot and killed it. Well, that's the dark past. But that's enough of the doom and gloom. This is an absolutely phenomenal animal. But before we get into that, welcome to Yoderverse Untamed, the first official episode of Yoderverse Untamed, and today we'll be looking at the King Cheetah. Thank you so much for anyone who has subscribed or is watching. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. I will try to release videos weekly or as often as I can, as I'm trying to, figure out this entire video thing both here and on the other channel. Speaking of the other channel, if you're interested in more diverse topics, whether it's life, whether it's science, whether it's just interesting things about the world and things that I enjoy learning, be sure to check out the Yoderverse podcast, the podcast that this podcast stems out of. And yeah, that's it. Let's get into the King Cheetah. I've always been fascinated by big cats, and some of the smaller big cats tend to fascinate me just a bit more. Things like, servals and caracals, and in the larger side of the small big cats is the king cheetah. The king cheetah, scientifically known as Achinonyx jabatus, is not a separate species of cheetah, but a very rare kind of cheetah. Unlike cheetahs with regular spots, these cheetahs have stripes. They have stripes and spots that are long and very, very dark, and like a mesmerizing mix of black, brown, and gold is what this cheetah is. And it's what I could call, no offense to regular cheetahs, but this one is just visually stunning. King cheetahs are primarily found in southern Africa, but are mostly in conservancies and reserves because of how rare they are. Seeing one in the wild will be a 1 in a billion chance. They're mostly kept in conservancies to be able to, and by conservancies, I don't mean open field conservancies, I mean closed field conservancies, where they're actually taking, like they're fed by people and, fed by people and everything like that. Almost like a zoo. Like regular cheetahs, their diet consists of meat, any kind of meat, whether it's gazelles, antelopes, buffaloes, they are carnivores. And as for those who would not know, a carnivore is just an animal that eats meat. So they can go all the way from antelopes to even small things like rabbits and hares. Their diet varies from, you know, from large to small. What about behavior and adaptations? The social structure of king cheetahs and cheetahs in general is they're relatively solitary, with mostly a male and a female sticking together, or a mother and her cubs sticking together. Otherwise, they are very solitary, or unless it's something like a sisterhood or a brotherhood of cheetahs, where you'd find 3 to 4, at most 5 of them, maybe hunting in a park. And of course, now we get to back to the unique behaviors. Cheetahs are fast, but not just fast. They are the fastest, you know, land animal in the world, reaching speeds of up to 60 kilometers an hour, upwards of 110 kilometers an hour. But this comes with disadvantages. As much as they are extremely fast, they can only hold that speed for around 45 seconds to 2 minutes at most if they're really pushing it. And so, as much as the speed gives them a huge advantage over the prey they hunt, they tend to, slow down after running for too long, like a 100-meter sprinter compared to a marathon runner. So if you tell a 100-meter sprinter to run 100 meters, he'll run 100 meters very fast. But if you tell him to run a marathon, he'll struggle significantly because his body has not been trained for that. And that's same as the cheetah. The cheetah has not been trained for long distance running. So what about adaptation? Both the king cheetah and the regular cheetah, their spots and stripes are primarily have an edge when it comes to camouflage, similar to their cousin, the leopard. They blend in with the African savannas extremely well, and this gives them an edge over their prey that, they'll be able to sneak up on them and catch them faster. A bit of fun facts about the king cheetah. It was once thought to be a completely separate species of cheetah, and maybe even a hybrid between a cheetah and a leopard, until it was later discovered that it is just a regular cheetah, but with the, again, the visual, how visually stunning it is, with, the stripes and all that. And I have, through the video, I'm sure I have displayed one or two images on how beautiful this creature is. And what about conservation status? This cheetah is extremely endangered. And cheetahs in general are extremely endangered. It is thought that around 7,000 of these animals are left in the wild, and that is a very, very small number that is continuing to go down as time goes. But what are the causes of this, depleting population? Some of the causes are habitat loss, so deforestation, people buying off big pieces of land for farms and for industrial projects, things like human-wildlife conflict, so poaching, which is something that I'm very against. Poaching is probably even bigger than the habitat loss. They are poached for their fur, especially because they have beautiful fur. Both regular cheetahs and king cheetahs are, hunted for their fur, which is, in my opinion, the biggest threat to their population. And in regards to that, what are some efforts that are being taken to ensure that this animal continues to grow in population? So there's an organization, the CCF, the Cheetah Conservation Fund, that are working to protect cheetahs from extinction, because that's something that can easily happen even in the next 50 to 100 years. And what can we do as, partakers of the wonderful nature that the earth provides us is just raising awareness, which is what I, hope to do with this podcast. It's not just raising awareness of information like cheetahs are cool and all that stuff, but I feel like it's more of also raising awareness for the fact that these animals are on the brink of extinction. It could be 7,000 cheetahs today and less than 5,000 by the end of this year, and can go like that. And by 2030, you can have a planet that does not have these creatures. There will be generations born where you find the cheetah is an extinct animal to them, whereas some of us have grown up knowing them. So I feel like what we can do is just raise awareness for these very, very beautiful animals. I'd say that they are my favorite, they are my favorite big cat. And just one little fun fact about cheetahs is that they're the only big cat, I think, along with leopards, that can't necessarily roar, or they can purr, yes. And I think they are the only big cat that can purr, but they make a certain chirping sound. I'll try to find a way to play that for you. It's a very interesting sound that cheetahs can make that no other animal or big cat can make. And yeah, that will be it. I've tried to keep this as short as possible while trying to give you as much information as I can about this majestic animal. I hope that you enjoyed listening to this. I'm still, learning about, making videos and uh, presenting myself to the internet, but I hope that the layout that I've given is relatively simple enough. I'm trying to make like a template of sorts in regards to the way I want to do these videos. So, talk about the animal, maybe fun fact about the animal, habitat, appearance, size, weight, all these things, scientific name, things that you might or might not know about the animal, then conservation status, and the things that we can do to help these animals. And as time goes on, I will refine this, all of it, whether it's the video quality, whether it's the uh, audio quality, whatever it is, whether it's the background or anything. But in spite of all of that, I am absolutely grateful for anyone who has taken time to watch this video. It is a passion of mine to be able to, you know, display awareness for the creatures of this world, starting first with Africa. So I'm hoping to be able to do this as regularly as I can. Maybe next, in the second episode, I'll bring an animal that people are not or are barely familiar with. Maybe make it more interesting, and maybe you learned something new that you didn't know today. Maybe this is your first time knowing that the king cheetah is actually a cheetah that actually exists. And yeah, I'm done rambling for today. Thank you so, so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and all that. I'm adding this. This is on Spotify as well. It'll be part of the Yoderverse as I try to figure out how to give it its own podcast. But for now, it's going to be part of my other podcast, the Yoderverse. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Stay curious and take care. Goodbye.